Hi everyone, and welcome back to Mystic Moons Astrology. My name is Ashley, and today I wanted to speak to you about this powerful 2023 7-year. And the 7-year is noted as a karmic year. It's a Ketu, aka South Node year. And Ketu embodies our spiritual life, whereas Rahu is more of our material life. So having a Ketu year is very indicative of us wanting to spiritually progress and to learn more about ourselves this year. So I just thought I would get on the page and converse with you a little bit about what this year is going to be about and what we can do to help manifest a little bit more Ketu into our lives as we progress this year. So welcome back everyone. And thank you all so much for the new subscriptions and for the likes and the comments. It's been wonderful, and it's been very joyous seeing us past 500. So thank you. So Ketu is noted as a headless body. And when we look at it in Eastern astrology, Ketu is separation, isolation from the mind. Because it's a head without a body, it naturally moves through this incarnation, feeling its way through and using familiar balance to move through life. This is because Ketu is noted as the tail, Rahu is noted as the head. So in this regard, without the head, one feels, senses, and is one with self, as it has lost the rationalizing, the conceptualizing, the memories, and just allowing through presence, self-realization. This can really bring in reconnection to the body, the soul, the spirit, and the heart. This is a spiritually karmic year, and without a head, when the mind's gone, spiritual practice can come in, such as meditation. Retreating into these karmic practices are going to be a theme for this year, 2023. We will go on our own personal journeys this year, searching for deeper spiritual fulfillment. We will find ourselves studying and researching things that are correlated with Life Path 7, because it's a 7-year. So this is studying and researching and seeking out the truth for ourselves. If you look up a Life Path number 7, they are often involved in extensive research most of their life. And these researching pathways with Ketu will look more into some of the more esoteric, more karmic pathways, things that are unseen and unable to be grasped only by sitting with them, meditating on them, are we able to get greater awareness and understanding of these things. So numerology, astrology, mysticism, meditation, practices that produce awareness of self and produce transformation will be very important for this 2023 year. We will find ourselves drawn to spiritual books and practices, holding space for deeper spiritual knowledge and information, because this is our spiritual quest of the year, and it's asking us what specifically we want to get in line with spiritually for ourselves to learn more and grow more with our familiar Ketu, familiar creative talents, abilities, attributes that we do well and we have natural talent with. This is a very turning inward energy. This is not allowing anything to come into our space that's not fulfilling us spiritually, heart, and body. Because like I said, we're not talking about the head and the rationalization this year. We're talking about how it feels on a soul level to us. So, South Node, aka Ketu, doors to the past can come open this year, and anything that you've had past karma with may come up. It can be a very introspective year, allowing us to funnel through these past feelings, hang-ups, thoughts, people, offering enlightenment and closure on some of these grievances, propelling us to sit with our past karma and allowing us to choose how we wish to move forward or if we wish to stay put. It's hard to let go of the past when we are so attached to it and it's so intricately woven into who we are as a person. Maybe we've put a lot of time into something and finally we're coming to terms with and awakening to the fact that it is in no way moving forward. It's as if we recognize where our metaphorical boat hasn't even left the docks yet. We've been rowing the boat with our anchor down. You could justify your plight and keep attempting to row the boat because you have so much time invested, or you can stop rowing and pull the anchor up. And this comes with forgiving ourselves for hanging on, doing some karmic clearing and energy work to alleviate that past. And it will include us daily working daily on this type of stuff because it belongs with our shifts in behavior, our habits, and the things that we are long ingrained in, right? Because the South Node and the Ketu karmic placement in our chart has to do with things that we have held on to, things that we have past conditioning with, childhood conditioning with. So working with our Ketu energy this year, we can feel safe in the knowledge that abundant karmic lessons are coming our way to teach us more about our emotions and ourselves. Hiding from the past just won't work this year. We must embrace it and acknowledge our history, but not wallow in it, be a victim of it, or allow it to hold us back in any way. There's a freedom with releasing and healing that can offer solace to our heart and connect with our own hearts on what we want to embody with this year. It's important to find balance during a Ketu year. Ketu is always connected to Rahu. So with its opposite polarity, Rahu, it's a yin and a yang. So going too deep and submerging into the Ketu energy can be very isolating because it doesn't have a head and it can become directionless when it sits with itself. So this can be a lonely feeling. This can be, like I said, very isolative. It can make us feel like we have losses instead of gains, whereas Rahu's all about the gains. Ketu's about taking the losses. But sometimes we have to figure in where our losses are so that we can make a brighter path for ourselves. This is all about calling in past memories to heal and rise above it. So healing is going to take a profound awareness from us this year that we need to heal some things in order to evolve and to sit with them in order to have those mirrors of the past come in and for us to see how we can better ourselves from our past. Libraries are one of the most wonderful sanctuaries for knowledge and a free option for us to get in a meditative space like Ketu wants us to do, and for us to gain that spiritual knowledge, some new spiritual practices, learning about different philosophies, religions, and this kind of thing can boost our awareness of spiritually how we want to move forward. And maybe we have some inkling about how we want to spiritually evolve, but taking some time out to do some more work, researching, and strategizing how we're going to put that into our daily routines is going to be very important. Disconnecting with the Rahu-like lifestyle of the material, the chasing after the goals, the big, broad life path schemes, and just sitting with ourselves and feeling how we take things in, how we interpret them, and how we're doing, like I said, heart-wise, will allow us to get some connection to this Rahu energy and kind of let go of, the Ketu energy, and kind of let go of more of the Rahu, insatiable, we've got to get it done type attitude. Sometimes with Ketu, we just want to sit with ourselves and get a good indication as to how spiritually we want to move forward and what our spiritual quest is for this year. So 7 is such a lucky number, and in the greatest story ever told, the Bible, it speaks about the 7 days of creation. Like I said, we've got, with the 7, we've got life past 7, has to do with kind of diving deep into the rabbit hole. And so, but also there's 7 great saints, there's 7 chakras. 7 is noted as a quite profound number. And I was looking up the chart of Jim Morrison of the Doors, and this is just kind of a side note. Jim Morrison of the Doors, singer, poet, writer. He's one of my most loved artists of all times, which I will be hopefully doing a video about his astrology chart as I go on, because I'm doing some work on that right now. But ironically enough, he has Ketu in Aquarius conjuncting his ascendant. He did, conjuncting his ascendant in the 12th. So I think it's very interesting because his ascendant in Aquarius is out of the box, and it's very stand out because it's very future oriented, but then it links up to Ketu, the planet of the node of karma. So this can note that he was an old soul, because it's like the past Ketu meets the present ascendant. And so Jim's ascendant and Ketu, self and past, he had already showed up similar to this incarnation as in previous incarnations. So I thought that was interesting that he was such a profound singer, poet, and writer. And these are also things that we want to take in with the Ketu year, is getting involved in our creations that make us, that really guide, our heart guides us to create, to put out into the world. I also think it's interesting that I did the North Node series, and I haven't continued on and finished up the South Node because I've been moving and I've been doing a lot of work to get to the point where I can finally put out some more of the South Node videos. But ironically enough, we're in a South Node year. Here we are. So it will be a profound year for me being able to really tap into that Ketu energy and use it to put out some more videos for the South Node. But I thought it was interesting, and I want to know in the comments below if you have Ketu sitting with any of your personal planets or axis points, because it will be a very transformative year for those that are going through transits or through, you know, having the Ketu near your planetary aspect. What profound changes are going to be brought in this year from that. So, like I said, I'll do more on Jim Morrison later on, but and also a note, he had a grand trine. He had a grand trine with his ascendant, Uranus, Neptune, and Mars. So obviously with ascendant sitting there with Ketu, Ketu's involved as well. So ascendant Ketu, Mars, Neptune, Uranus, whew, such a progressive, profound personality. And he was only here for a short period of time, obviously, till his 27th year, but he kind of knew what he was doing because he had Ketu with his ascendant showing up. So I'd like to know if you have any planets or axis points sitting with Ketu. So this is definitely a body and a heart energy, because Rahu is the head of the serpent without the body, and Ketu's the tail without the head. So when we take the head off, what do? We are familiar with only what we've already put footing in. So take some of that time to really recognize where we've put some of this familiar footing in, where we can just walk around our house with a blindfold on, and these things will be there for us, metaphorically. But also with what we've already established and created. Because Ketu, anytime that we talk about Ketu as astrologers, you know, we note it as a place where we want to kind of get away from. It's kind of stagnant energy if we stay too long. But these are things that we know well. We were born in this incarnation with these wonderful, seamlessly easy traits. Like I said, like a blindfold walking in the dark. We already know these things. So, taking the time out to really figure those things out for ourselves, cultivate those things, make them better, because this year will involve that. And like I said, we'll go on our own personal spiritual journeys. We'll be searching for deeper spiritual fulfillment this year. So take some time out to study and research. Like I said, take some time out in a meditative space like the library, where you can just learn a new philosophy, learn new spiritual practices, and you can integrate that. And this is going to be a karmic year for some past things coming up. And when they come up, we need to realize that we are able to deal with those in a more progressive way if we're able to sit with ourselves and really internalize what we have going on. So it's going to be a beautiful year. It's going to be very lucky, very imaginative. And what's your spiritual quest for the year? What do you wish to have a little bit more enlightenment with this year? It's a good question. So personally, I hope to bring more videos to this astrology channel, get deeper into the nodes as I go on. And if there's any specific videos that you're looking for that you want to learn more about, shoot them my way, and maybe I'll be able to put you on the request list and we'll be able to get a video out. So I hope you all have a wonderful 2023 year ahead. And like I said, I'm looking forward to doing more videos, but also taking some introspective time for myself as well to learn more. So I'll be sporadic and getting on the page, and I appreciate you all for being here. So I hope you all have a lovely year, lovely Ketu year. Hope it's very karmically enriching for you. Take care, and I'll speak with you soon.